Sometimes when I'm helping my clients who are recovering from trauma navigate the newness of this relationship, based on the fact that once before, when we weren't in our healing process, we were just allowing things to happen. And now, as we're starting to heal, we're becoming a little more self aware and less accommodating than we were before. So I equate it to um, a bicycle built for two. If you don't know what that is, you might have to Google it. But I don't even know if they make bicycles built for two anymore. But I remember many, many years ago, there was a commercial for the gum Double Mint, and they were Double Mint twins, and they were on a bicycle built for two. And so essentially, you have one person in the front and another person in the back, and it's like two bicycles connected to each other. So essentially, both people are supposed to be working together to get the bicycle moving. But when you're in a relationship with someone and you're trying to kind of heal and process trauma, and you're in a relationship with someone who's used to the old you, it's kind of like you're pedaling up the hill in this bicycle built for two, but you're the only one doing the work. So you're the only one going to therapy. You're the only one using assertive communication, or at least trying to. You're the only one putting in all the emotional work into the heavy lifting of things. And you might be the only one financially providing. You're just doing a lot of work. So you're pedaling up this hill with this other person on this bike, adding weight to the bike, but you're the only one actually doing the work. And so what happens is, that other person is chilling. They're chilling in the back. They're not doing anything because you're doing all the work, and they're just kind of enjoying the ride. So when you get up to the top of the hill and you realize, man, I've done a lot of work. So you think now, okay, now I can kind of relax and kind of go downhill and enjoy the breeze and the birds and the trees and all those things. So when you start going down the hill, that's when the resentment comes up. And that's when you realize, man, I've been doing a whole lot of work, and this person's just been benefiting off of this ride. And that's kind of what happens when we start healing from trauma, and the relationships that we've been in, whether they're intimate or otherwise, start to look a little different, because we understand that we have put in a lot of work and some of the people around us have done nothing. And so that's where the resentment comes in. That's when we start to become avoidant. That's when we don't want to be bothered with people. So the moral of the story is, if you start feeling heavy, if you start feeling like you're doing too much work in a relationship, more than likely it's not a balanced relationship. So before you get to the top of the hill and start feeling some type of way, let people know, like, opt out of that before you feel like pushing them off the bike altogether. Because that's what you're going to feel like. You're going to feel like pushing them off the bike. So let's not do that, But trauma healing is a process, and this is part of the process. This is part of the healing. When you look at your life and you realize that you don't want the same things anymore, you're going to lose a lot of people. And that's okay, because that means that you're growing. But do understand that you don't have to do all the work anymore. You can actually say no, put up those boundaries, maintain those boundaries, and have the life that you deserve.